Welcome to the Travel Squad podcast, where adventure meets inspiration. We're your hosts. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Jamal. Together we explore international destinations, hike epic national parks, and share unforgettable travel experiences with you, one passport stamp at a time.
Our mission is to inspire you to travel by showing you how you can make it work no matter your budget, schedule, or experience level.
We bring you along so that you can laugh, get excited, and start planning your own trip.
So grab your ticket and your passport.
And don't forget your travel insurance.
And get ready to embark on a new adventure with us around the globe.
Hey Squaddies, Travel Squad Podcast is back with Just the Tip, our Friday mini episode series where we give you quick travel stories, hacks, and recommendations to set you off into the weekend right.
Today, we're sharing some job inspiration for those who want to travel as a part of work. You know, one thing I kind of regret is not being more adventurous in my career. Like when I was younger, maybe working on a cruise ship or being a flight attendant, because I feel like that would have just opened up opportunities to travel around the world even more. And as we travel and we meet people in the travel industry, there are so many different types of jobs within travel that you may not even think about. So I'm really excited to share this with you all and hopefully get you inspired.
So we're going to share 10 travel-related jobs, careers, or even just a break from the normal corporate 9-to-5 grind and say, hey, I'm going to take a year and do this, or a little bit longer, maybe career switch. Who knows? But I agree with you, Brittany. I look back and think, hey, I would have loved to work on a cruise ship. I know somebody who has. They loved it. Other travel-related jobs, I went to school with somebody who is a flight attendant as well. They love it. So we're going to go over 10 here for you guys, give you that inspiration.
Britt, I was actually thinking of you when we interviewed MedJet and they were talking about the need for critical care nurses on their private jet ICUs. It's like, oh my God, that could be a job for Brittany.
I know. Unfortunately, my job in nursing is on the opposite end of the spectrum, but had my career nurse path gone a little bit differently, might be thinking about that one.
I'm particularly excited about this episode because about a year ago, I started really wanting a job that would send me on trips. We're going to talk about jobs that are more closely related to travel, but take me, for example, I started picking up event production jobs, experiential marketing jobs. Those jobs occur in different destinations around the country or the world, conferences, trade shows, that kind of a thing. So if you work in marketing, you could still have your corporate job, your 9-to-5, but as a part of your job, there's some percentage of travel required for events. That's where I'm sitting right now.
Love it. Well, let's dive right into the 10 that we have here. The first one right off the bat is something most people would probably think about, and that's either flight attendant or something in the airline industry.
Flight attendants have so many perks outside of flying to destinations for free and getting to be put up in hotels for free during those waiting periods for your next flight, your next job, right? But you also get perks with the job, like free discounted standby flights for you and your family.
Sometimes it's an entire family, like Charlotte. Her dad was the manager at Delta, and so her entire family can fly standby for free. And sometimes you can fly with one individual. Jamal's sister, Najwa, she actually has a friend who isn't a flight attendant, but he does work for an airline, and he gets to add her on as like a free companion pass all the time, so she gets to fly for free with him.
That's one I would love to change my career and go back to.
Flight attendant or just airline industry?
Flight attendants, it's a glamorous job, but I know it's hard work too.
What's that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, View from the Top, that talks about her being a flight attendant and she wants to do it because it's all glamorous, or that's her idea of it. And the goal is to get those big international long hauls versus short domestics. I wonder if that's a real thing. So any flight attendants out there, let us know if that's real. That's how you got to upgrade. You want to get those big long haul flights, be in business or first class. That is the position to be in.
That would make a good interview. We need to find a travel agent to bring on, someone that works in those high first class areas.
Well, speaking of travel agent, that is the second travel related job that we have here for you guys.
I think a perk of being a travel agent, and Kim, you've mentioned this too, like when you went on your cruise, some of your family booked through a travel agent and they got some perks on the cruise that you didn't book because you booked independently. even though you were able to find a little bit of a better price. But I feel like it really balances out, like your family got free champagne and stuff like that. So I feel like travel agents, they know the perks and they have some background knowledge and hookups, so they can really elevate your experience and personalize it a little bit more.
And then use it for themselves. Discounts on hotels and restaurants and activities.
That's something that I was even thinking about doing for myself. And I've had this conversation with Brittany, is getting my travel agent certification or license or whatever it is for here in California. And I don't necessarily want to do it as a career or a side gig, but we book so much travel that why would I not do it through my travel agency business, get those perks in the hotel, on the cruise or whatever, discounts. Plus, it's no more expensive to go through a travel agent than book it direct, but the travel agent gets a little bit of kickback. So why not make our trip even cheaper by getting the kickback on something that we were already going to buy? So that is a thought roaming through my head. Travel agent.
One other perk of travel agents are fam trips or familiarization trips. Tourism boards and different organizations will host travel agents in their destination, show them around, get them familiar with the hotels, restaurants, destination experiences, all of that hosted.
So they can speak to it better and sell it to their clients,
That's
right?
right.
Oh, okay. I really like this.
All three of us, let's get our travel agent license and credentialing. Let's do it.
Squatties, if you need a trip booked, reach out. Hey Squatties, we want to quickly share one of our new favorite travel products with you, the Epica Ultra Lightweight Compression Packing Cubes. You know we've always been fans of packing cubes, but we just discovered a new compression set from Epica that has major space-saving power to keep you and us organized while traveling. These packing cubes are crafted from 100% ultra-lightweight nylon material. The 4-pack of these cubes can save you up to 60% of space in your luggage thanks to their durable double compression feature, so you are maximizing your packing capacity. If you're a chronic overpacker like us, then these are definitely a must-have. We always organize our clothes in the cubes by clothing type, so shirts in one, pants in another. Makes it super easy to keep organized while you're on vacation. We also use that smallest size one often for packing a spare change of clothes in our carry-on, just in case the worst happens to your checked bag. And it's really helpful there. They have handles on these ones so you can grab them out real easy. And squad tip, you can hang them in your hotel by those handles so you keep organized while you're there too. Epica's packing cubes come in black and beige, and they are waterproof, tear resistant, and machine washable. You can get the Epica Ultra Lightweight Compression Packing Cubes on Amazon. And right now there is a big discount going on, but it's limited. Or always at epicatech.com, and you Squatties get 30% off when you use code SQUAD30OFF at checkout.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Ah yes, the magnificent Trolley Sourbright Crawler, also known as Trollicus brightolus. The worm's captivating neon colour makes it an easy gummy prey.
Trolley!
It's a surprisingly sour, invitingly chewy, staggeringly snackable species unlike anything else found on this planet.
Eat me!
Delicious. Visit Trolley.com to shop now.
Trolley, eat me!
So we kind of talked about this one at the very beginning, and the next job that we're going to talk about is being a cruise worker. You may think crew member right away, but there are so many different jobs aboard. You can be a hairstylist, you can work in the spa, you could be the cruise director even if you have a great personality, but there's so many shops on board that also work at port. So you don't just have to be a crew member working in a restaurant or taking care of like the rooms and doing room service and stuff like that.
If you are musically inclined, like play an instrument, sing, dance, those are all positions on a cruise ship.
A comedian, for example, they always have that as some of the late night shows, comedy. They have dancing, all sorts of stuff. If you have some sort of craft, believe it or not, I'm sure you can apply on a cruise ship for any sort of position.
We had a beautiful lady named Ashley V on our podcast a couple of times. The first one, she talked all about the several years that she spent working on a cruise ship.
And she's back on working on a cruise ship.
Yes, she is the lady that gets to wear the diamonds and give you the presentation about jewelry. Like, what an amazing job. And to do it in these exotic destinations too.
And you always get a day off. Usually in the cruise industry, you work 6 out of 7 days, but you get a day off. And so you get to explore different ports. And so you're traveling while you're working and you're not paying for
Lodging or food.
or lodging or anything like that. So it's great.
Number 4 on our list is going to be a seasonal worker. Now, you may be thinking seasonal worker, what does that mean? But if you like winter sports, you could work at a ski or snowboard lodge. When we were in Iceland, I was so shocked to see how many people with the tours that we did were not even from Iceland or Icelandic. They were from other countries, the US or Europe. When we did the Silfra snorkel in the fissure, it was different type of guides who have those certifications to do that and take you in. So there are a lot of seasonal jobs that you can just travel to and do what you like.
Yachts and boats are also on deck for seasonal jobs, right? A lot of them take place during warmer months, and there's a lot of different positions on yachts and boats too, from the servers to people that help with actually tying ropes and guiding boats, doing boat things. I don't know exactly what they do, but those are all jobs if you are boat inclined.
And, you guys mentioned actual jobs within like seasonal workers, but there are seasonal cities or areas even. Like Alaska's a huge summer destination for seasonal workers. So is Bar Harbor, Maine, or even Door County in Wisconsin.
When we were up in Jasper, Canada, they had those cabins for the seasonal workers to stay there because there wasn't a lot of nearby hotels and whatnot, and the people would come in for the season, work, and then leave.
So there's a lot of opportunities to jump and bounce around. And I feel like once you get into a seasonal working type job, there are other people that know of other spots. And so it's very easy to jump around and, do something in the summer, do something in the spring, do something in the fall or winter, and just have a year-round job, but it's going to be different based off of what area you are and what kind of seasonal work you're doing.
It's kind of a cool one too, because say the Jasper example, you're living there, you're working nonstop essentially during the season. When you're off season, you probably have a lot of money stacked up, which you can then take to travel.
Mm-hmm. I wish we would have done this.
Let's do it. Let's quit our jobs.
What would be your seasonal working craft? What would you do?
Yacht life, baby.
Yacht life? You know anything about boats, Kim, or would you just be serving people?
I'll just make the beds.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I can make a mean bed.
Okay.
I would love to be like a tour guide or operator in like Alaska and take people on like guided hikes and things like that. Kayak. I think that would be really fun.
I can see you out there with your bear spray. Stay close.
What about you, Jamal? Would be your job of choice in the seasonal work industry?
I would find a cool city that I really like to talk about that had some very interesting history and maybe do some walking tours. I think that would be fun.
Ooh, walking tours.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to get into.
Oddly enough, that happens to be the next thing on our list is a tour guide. I guess you could do walking tour guides or any other type of tours.
With a tour guide, there's different levels that you can be. You could be the walking tour guide who spends a couple hours with a group a couple times a day, or you can go all out and be something like a tour manager for a Gate 1 trip where you're with this group of 30 people for like a week straight.
I know you love tour guides, Kim. What's your preferred tour guide? Someone you just see for a few hours?
Yeah, I like to see as many tour guides as I can. So a couple hours here with this one, move on to the next.
We're making an inside joke. If you go back and listen to our Cusco, Peru episode, you may go ahead and get it. There's no need to talk about it on this mini, but we are specifically talking about walking tours then at this point. But our first one was in Cusco, Peru. We really loved it. These walking tours you usually, don't even have to pay for. So Squatties just recommend you do a walking tour as a patron, let alone maybe go into this as a side gig or anything like that for travel. But they are free. You learn a lot First one was Cusco, like I mentioned, but we've done it in Salzburg, Austria. In New Orleans, we did a free walking ghost tour, voodoo tour. It's a great way to get familiar with a city, get the lay of the land, and then do your own thing after the fact. I really love that. But I wonder what really goes into being a tour guide for something like a Gate One or a travel company when you're with a large group for a week. Like, what do you have to do to get to that level? I also wanted to be a safari guide one time. After we came back from our safari, I told Brittany, I said, I would learn so much about the animals here and I would love to do that. But I think that would be very hard to get into, just driving safari vehicles in Africa, but really awesome nevertheless.
And then there's the level kind of in between where you're a local guide. So on a lot of the Gate 1 tours, for example, you'll go to a city, you'll pair up with a local guide, and they'll share the knowledge about the area. Usually they're from that area or have lived in that area for a long time, learn about the history, the cuisine, see some things unique to the area, and they really just specialize in that area versus like the tour manager who organizes and makes sure people gets to every destination on time and kind of just like has general knowledge, but the local guide has more specific knowledge.
Squatties, this is a good time to mention tour guides / itineraries. So we have downloadable itineraries on our website, travelsquadpodcast.com, and it's essentially like a PDF download tour guide. It has your entire flight of your trip in order, how long it takes to get to each place, how long you need in each destination, the prices for things, information about it, squad tips along the way, photos to really entice you to go. Tons of other resources on the website too, but if you're going to do anything, go to travelsquadpodcast.com and check those out. Some of them are free.
This episode is brought to you by CarMax. Searching for your next car? Don't settle. Thrive. At CarMax, it's easy to shop online or in person. With upfront pricing and tools designed to help, finding a car you love has never been easier. Plus, you can sell or trade in your current vehicle with an online offer in minutes. No strings attached. Start shopping now to find a car you'll love at CarMax.com. CarMax, the way it should be.
Deciding which credit card or loan is right for you is like trying to choose where you want to eat for dinner. Except when you finally get to the restaurant, the menu's riddled with jargon that no average foodie could understand. So at Credit Karma, we keep things simple. We show you personalized recommendations that align with your money goals and help you turn the confusing fine print into terms you can actually understand. And as a cherry on top, we provide a detailed overview for a new card or loan before you apply. That way, we can help you make decisions faster and with more confidence. Download Intuit Credit Karma today to get started.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
So the next job we're going to talk about in travel is being a teacher abroad. Typically, teachers are needed to teach English abroad, and we've actually interviewed someone. We had a guest named Matt. He is the host of Making Moves with Matt podcast, and he's lived in Spain, South Korea, and even Turkey teaching English.
That episode was so interesting because I always thought if you're going to teach English in, say, Korea, you have to know Korean and English, but that's not the case. So squatties, if you're listening, and maybe this one is drawing your attention, go back and listen to that episode with Matt. It's very enlightening, very inspiring. I almost took a second job over there.
We even have a squatty named Lauren, and she moved to Japan to teach English as well. And being able to watch her adventures and stories and stuff, it's so interesting, like how much you learn of a culture by like living there and really immersing yourself there. Usually the commitment to teach English abroad is for a full school year, but when that school has a break, you can travel on their holiday breaks, And then there's summer and winter breaks as well. So if you're already in, let's say, Asia, you can get to a lot of other countries in Asia, and it's a great way to travel. But some contracts are up to 3 years long. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for a job.
One for the creatives is travel photographer or travel videographer, where you can actually be paid to go to destinations and capture landscape photos, culture photos, people photos, and videos to be used in publications for brands' own websites. Could be an in-house job or a gig work job where you're sent off on different assignments.
Yeah, if you are artistically inclined, I think this would actually be really cool. When we were in Uganda, as a matter of fact, we kept running into two guys. I believe they were from where? Denmark or I can't remember, probably Denmark, right? And they just had big cameras, different types of attachment and lenses. And we finally asked them, after seeing them so many times in the same spots, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we work for a magazine publication in our country. We're getting wildlife photos. I'm like, these guys are getting awesome safari action all for free, being paid. You're going out here, having this great time. Travel photography or videography would be an amazing career. I wish I was more into photography and videography. I do want to get a camera, but I feel like if I get one, I'm really not going to put in the effort that I think I will put
Not
in.
with that attitude.
I know. I need to change that. Believe it or not, I started reading a lot about aperture and light entering the lens and how you're supposed to do stuff, but there was a lot of confusing terminology for me, but I just need to really get back into it. But I would love to really get a good camera and take amazing high quality photos.
Number 8 would be someone who works in event coordination, or I mentioned in the beginning, event marketing even. This could be specifically for travel events like conferences, travel expos, festivals even. There's a lot that goes into event planning where there's people that coordinate on the front end. They plan the logistics, the layout, the vendors that are coming in. And then, of course, they travel to the event to manage and make sure everything that they planned is brought to life. It doesn't have to be just travel events, though. Like I said earlier, this could be experiential marketing, pop-ups, music festivals, conferences or trade shows for industries completely outside of travel. But say you have to go to Lisbon, Portugal to run a financial advisor conference. Well, you are in Lisbon, Portugal, and then on your off time, you get to explore that destination on the company's dime.
We're looking to do a travel conference in this upcoming year, and the one that we're looking at is going to be in Quebec. And before the conference starts, there are 2 days of day trips. And so being able to actually host that event and take people on day trips and then organize the conference, that would be super cool to do. And you'd meet a ton of people in the travel industry and travel brands, and it's just a huge marketing opportunity as well.
Well, I think what you just mentioned, Brittany, also really leads into number 9 on our list, which is being a travel blogger, influencer, podcaster, vlogger, etc. Whatever you want to be, that can be something that you do, because that's why we are going to that event in Quebec. So get out there. I mean, you see so many people these days just with big, large social media followings, and all they're doing is really traveling, posting, telling you about stuff. And what better way to get into the travel industry and career than doing this and sharing information with people?
If you're already someone that likes travel and then you're creating content out of it and you can turn it into a business opportunity, you're able to write off your travel expenses. So you created your own business where technically you're paying for your own travel, but in a way, some of it comes back to you. And then it starts to just have a ripple effect that gains momentum, right? Maybe you get some conf experiences like at the TBEX conference in Quebec, or maybe you start getting contacted by tourism boards who want to bring you out to their destination to show you around on one of those fam trips.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to monetize travel blogging, influencing, podcasting. I mean, there's sponsorship, partnerships, affiliate marketing. So you dip into a little bit of each of that, and eventually it starts to really add up. So definitely look into it if you're interested.
Last one, number 10, is for not the faint of heart. Someone who is a destination wedding planner or even a destination wedding photographer working in the wedding business. I think that destination weddings, they've always been around, right? But I'm hearing about them a lot more. I know someone that's getting married in Italy this November. I know another friend of mine that got married in Italy, and even my coworker got married in Portugal a year ago. So it's happening. They all have photographers there. They're bringing their photographers from the US, and they need someone in that destination or that's familiar with planning destination weddings to help them coordinate all the details and the location and the wedding certificate and the legal processes.
We actually have a squatty. Her name's Audrey, and she is a wedding photographer, and you pay for the travel expenses. And so she gets to enjoy a destination, and she could probably add on some other days after the wedding, before the wedding, to, just enjoy herself. But I think this would be a great way to travel and see other amazing locations, because people don't get married and just like...
Well, actually, I have a story about that.
Oh, okay.
So a friend of mine was going to get married here in San Diego. And this happened to be during COVID. They had to change it, and they ended up getting married in Sandpoint, Idaho, which is very close to Spokane, Washington.
I know where Sandpoint is. I've actually driven through Sandpoint.
Coeur
Beautiful
d'Alene.
area. Yes.
It's a beautiful area, but there's not much out there, right?
Okay.
And this was kind of a last minute change, and they already had a photographer picked out here in San Diego. Well, they paid for her travel to come to Sandpoint, Idaho for the weekend to take the photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she got to explore the area.
But there wasn't much to explore. Well, it might be really beautiful and off the grid. And
little
you get
fishing.
To, get to decompress a little bit. Got to spin it the right way.
But the great thing is you can pick and choose your assignments.
That is very true.
As we head into the new year, hopefully this has inspired some possible career changes, maybe a little side gig action. So thank you so much, Squatties, for tuning in to this week's Just the Tip.
Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on all the socials at Travel Squad Podcast.
And have fun traveling this weekend.
Bye, Squatties.